Okay, well, welcome to DCS World's MI-24P simulation module. I'm just going to walk you through some of the switches today, and we'll do a simple takeoff and fly a bit. Okay. First thing, this large panel here is the all-important power panel. Back here we, of course, have the breakers. In order to trip all of these breakers at the same time, we pull this handle. This is the rotor brake right here. We want to have that down. Over here, we have the fuel stops. We want to enable them, and we want to hit this panel as well. Looking at the panel here of DC power, we have AC power. We want to turn the batteries on first. Power from battery. You can have the AP generator power switch up as well. You can also engage the external power if you have a start cart. Next, you go down here to the AC power and they hit the inverter. Following that, we're going to engage the intercom systems. Adjust the cabin lighting if you need it. We're going to ignore all these switches here. These are all for electrical systems. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here are the signal flare launchers. Radio. 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 Radios. Alright? That's a separate tutorial. I want to prepare the fuel cocks. Fuel feeding tank 1, feeding tank 2. The guards. Left engine. Fire valve, right engine fire valve, close the stops. After that, we've got the fuel delimiter. I don't have any external tanks, so I'm going to remain this, keep this in the down position, and then we have the fuel pumps. Extinguisher controls are in this far corner. This is an automatic system. This down here is going to control the pneumatic sealing of the cabin doors. Down here we're looking at the APU start. Hold this down, wait. We're starting in cold conditions, but not cold enough where we have to crank. We're going to be monitoring this air pressure here. APU is coming up to speed. Those sounds are, of course, of local helicopters moving past. Green and green. I'm going to start the left engine first in this particular case. I'm going to hold this down and release it after a few seconds. When it goes red or yellow, release. And now we carefully pay attention to the RPMs, and we also look at the heat. Engine number 1 is coming alive. Don't start number 2 until you've got one fully up and started. Main rotor coming up to speed. Now at this point, switch the switch down engine, select right or left. Hold it down. Release. And engine number 2 is coming alive. Now's a good time to get started on any cockpit lighting you want. Auto set for de-icing here. Not that it really matters, because it's not really modeled in DCS World yet. This is your Etch-a-Sketch, kind of. This is your Doppler map system. Turn the map power on as well. This is set for the scale. I'm setting it for very close scale. Both engines are started, but it's not quite that simple, okay? What we want to do now is not raise the collective, but rotate the throttle. Monitor carefully. Should reach roughly 90%, and then the governor will kick in and drop it back down. This is normal. At this stage, it gets a little tricky. We're going to go back to our main box here, our main power box, and we're going to make an upside down U-like shape. We're going to go up the panel and down the panel, okay? We want the left generator on, right generator on. We want the rectifiers left and right on. We want front battery down. Then we want to hit the gens going up. Left one, right one, and then we turn the inverter off. This light right here remains on as long as the APU is on. So let's turn that off, come back over to this panel here, APU stop, light is off, okay? It's kind of like Ghostbusters. Light is green, trap is clean, okay? Alright. At this point, we come over here to our electrical panels, alright? Here we have a switch for the radio, one of them, the second radio, the third radio, the fourth radio. Doppler navigation system on. This next switch, airspeed sensor to Doppler navigator, leave it off. Gyro power, gyro power. Flight director, more of a stabilizer. And here's the radar warning receiver. You can turn that on if you so desire. This is the warning audible signal. It's annoying. You can do the tests for cockpit lights as well, and of the RI-65 audio warning system here. The flight recorder currently doesn't work. Okay, set your lights for daytime or nighttime. Light check. Checking all the bulbs, and then release. Pilot fan. Strobe light on the outside on. I turn the tip lights off. Formation lights. All these are, of course, fuel. We don't have to mess with any of these. These are manual extinguishers here in the event of a fire. We're going to cage the gyro here. Let's see if I can keep both in view. This right here is the pedal damper switch. I like mine off. This is, of course, we have the gears. Okay, this is the manual gear release, radio. Down here we have the stabilization and autopilot system. I usually don't use the autopilot system, but I do prefer the stab. Minimum, I want these two switches on. In the event of a generator failure, these two switches will have to be reset. I currently have the cabin door sealed, and I have the wheel brake set. Making another scan here, looking for anything I might have missed. I'll go over the weapon systems a little bit here. This is the pilot's, pretty much an auxiliary weapons control panel. We want this up, sight firing, okay, distance input, fire control, weapon arm. This here, if I want to change the cannon rate switch, and this is the duration of burst switch. I put it to medium. The sight power, weapon camera, I just turn it on, I don't utilize it. Come up to the sight. It's a different sight from the MI-24D. This is for, let's just call it sight lead. And then we can adjust, of course, the crosshairs left and right. It's centered right now. We can adjust the light level of the HUD. All right. At this stage, we're going to do a ground taxi. Left and right. Okay, I'm going to release the brakes. And I do not even have to apply much pressure at all. If I want to move to the left, I'm going to utilize those pedals to the left at this stage. It's the easiest helicopter there is to taxi in DCS World. If I want to slow down, I pull the cyclic back. Okay. If I want to speed up, I can simply keep the cyclic at this point just in the center position. There's no wheels lock, so you have to follow steering with your feet. I want to slow it down a little bit. We don't apply the brakes with the handle in front on the cyclic, unless we want to park. All you have to do is pull back on the cyclic to slow down. Let's stop here. I'm going to pull all the way back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the way back. I'm going to come to a kind of a neutral system, a good neutral where I'm not moving. And I'm going to position to the back right, and I'm going to hit the trim button. I'm going to let the stick go, and I'm going to let the pedals go as well. I'm going to apply collective here, and it's going to be right pedal, not left, because this rotor system spins the opposite way of traditional Western helicopters. There we go. A little bit of a crosswind. And I'm going to center, and I'm going to hit trim. The trim is nowhere near as good as like the Apache or digital systems like that. I'm going to raise the gear. And let's get moving. It's one of the fastest combat helicopters in the world, if not the fastest. 2.5 meters a second. Trimming again, releasing, and it's not going to be seamless trim. You're going to have to use your China hat in order to make adjustments, especially by watching the HSI and the VSI. When I said fast, I'm not kidding. For being a battleship, she is very, very fast. I believe this is personally one of the most accurate. Yep, I lost the gens. This is a good time to talk about that. Gens coming back online here. This is a good drill. The stabilization will not come back online until you reset the generators. Go to your electrical control panel down here, and you see the twin lights that are currently on, okay? All the way down. Back up. Your gens are functioning now. Your stabilization, you're going to have to do this manual here and here. And we're nice and stable again. There's the Kirov. Or a Kirov class. I guess it's Peter Velitsky. Going to the front seat now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my seat forward a bit. I'm going to disengage my control stick, and I'm going to stow it, putting the AI autopilot essentially in command. I'm going to reduce speed to 200, and he's trying. The autopilot's right now trying to take me to 800 meters barometric, which is ridiculous. We're going to drop down to 400. Okay. Let's start talking about these systems here. Okay. So we have intercom system. We have a radio here. This is the master arm switch. Turn on the fan. Clock heat. Indicator lights test. Interior lighting. Panel lighting. Windshield wiper. Most of this equipment you don't really need to mess with in order to utilize the weapon systems, okay? ADI, okay. Missile sight doors. In theory, this is supposed to be for cleaning off the lenses of the periscopic sight beneath you. Missile power. Over here, this is going to control for the missiles for the AT-6 system. Power that up. I'm not going to turn this until I'm ready to select a missile. Here's our scope for sighting the AT-6 system. And here is, of course, our yoke. Let's engage heating, lights, guiding unit power. We don't want to hit the observation switch. Not yet. What that's going to do is the observation switch is going to open the forward doors and start essentially warming up the gyros to use in the AT-6 sight. This will limit the Hind's rolling radius to, I believe, only 20 degrees. If the Hind tries to roll any more than the limit, it will damage the sight. You will not be able to use it in combat. A little bit of snow here. Let's make a 180. Might be a good thing to turn on the wipers, a little bit of snow. Okay, I'm going to tell the pilot to fly to that smoke. There, now I have intercom. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select the missiles, and we're going to take a look into the sight. I'm going to open the doors. Now, it should be janky at the moment because the gyros haven't fully stabilized yet. And we're warm. Zooming, closing my eye, and tell the pilot to align. I'm waiting for... There we go, missile is away. Hit. Now I'm going to close the doors, and I'm going to immediately tell the pilot to brake. So just a quick takeoff. A little bit of weapons fire for y'all. If you'd like to see more, let me know.